Hello everyone and welcome to the University of California, Santa Barbara admissions presentation. I am so excited that you're joining us to learn more about UCSB. Now, my name is Cuca Acosta. I'm the Associate Director for School Services here at UC Santa Barbara. I'm a gaucho, so woohoo, UCSB students. But I'm also excited to share information about admissions, student life, housing. So here's how today will work. There's a little box that says ask a question. So guess what you do? You ask a question. And I'm going to talk a little bit about campus, but refer back to those questions. So let's get started. Now, the one thing everyone asks me is, where is this UCSB? And I always love to brag. Well, thanks for asking. We're located 100 miles north of Los Angeles on what I consider the most gorgeous property on the West Coast, and that happens to be Santa Barbara, California. We happen to have 2 miles of private beach. So notice that stuff on the bottom of the screen that looks like water? It is. It's the Pacific Ocean. And notice those things that look like mountains in the back of the picture? They are! Those are the Santa Ynez Mountains. UCSB is located conveniently between the mountains and the Pacific Ocean. So outdoor lovers, we're the right place for you. Now, Santa Barbara happens to be a medium-sized school within California. About 22,000 students equal up our student body. But what's really unique to us is that about 19,000 of our students are undergraduates. That's right, you guys coming out of high school to spend 4 years with us, or you coming in from a community college or another university transferring in to spend the last 2 years with us. The majority of our students, almost 90%, are undergraduate. And as such, you're going to love that our undergraduate to faculty ratio is 18:1. So we have this small campus feel, but large campus resources. Now, one of the mottos of the University of California happens to be that we teach theory and we conduct research. Who knows what that means? Yeah, not a lot of people. So here's a little hint. The University of California teaches theory. Who, what, where, when, why, how. We ask questions. We're inquisitive because we don't want to just learn about how it works. We also want to see what's coming in the future. And so it doesn't matter if you're studying engineering, biology, history, dance, actuarial science, or economics. Our faculty are teaching you those critical thinking skills, asking questions, pushing the envelope to see what comes next. Of course, we ask questions, but we also want to know the answers. And so research is an option for us to really do that investigation and find out answers to our questions. This is exciting on a UC campus, but more exciting for our undergraduate students, because that student who's a first year, a second year, that first year transfer student can be involved in those research projects. Over 50% of our undergraduate students have research on their resume by the time they graduate from UCSB, making them highly marketable in the job market or to graduate school. Now, one of the unique factors of UCSB is that we only have 3 undergraduate colleges. Those 3 undergraduate colleges are the College of Letters and Science, the College of Engineering, and the College of Creative Studies. Now, what you're going to see is that the College of Letters and Science is our largest college. The College of Letters and Science has about 92-93% of our total student body. Then we have the College of Engineering. The College of Engineering has 5 majors, about 1,300 undergraduate students, and finally, the College of Creative Studies. The College of Creative Studies with 7 programs and about 380, almost 400 undergraduate students. Now, questions have come in, so give me a second to read through them. Let's see, here we go. Question number 1 is, where is undeclared? Oh my goodness, I love you guys. You're 2 slides ahead of me. So let me start by showing you where our majors are located. Again, lots of options, but only 3 colleges on our campus. The first college, the College of Letters and Science, has about 90 majors, and they are listed for you in alphabetical order. I want to point out that our website, www www.ucsb.edu/academics. So let me point that out. Dun, da, da, da. Here's my arrow, pointed out right there. Oh, right there. That particular website happens to showcase all of these, so don't feel like you have to rush towards them. Also, our UCSB booth happens to have a publication called Admissions Guide 2015. You'll find that this happens to be listed in that guide as well. We do offer our incoming freshman students the opportunity to say undeclared or I don't know, and you'll find that in the College of Letters and Science. Again, College of Engineering with 5 programs, and then the College of Creative Studies with 7. For those of you who are looking at this list and you're a little confused, hey, art happens to be listed in 2 majors, or hey, physics is listed in 2 majors, or math is listed in 2 places, computer science is listed in 2 places. I'm confused. Well, if you're saying I'm confused, maybe this will help. Let's talk a little bit about the differences between our colleges. So the first college, again, that larger college on our campus, is the College of Letters and Science. The College of Letters and Science is what I think of a liberal arts platform. And essentially you have about 1/3 of your coursework which will be general education. So math, history, English, science, art. For those of you who are high school applicants, you're thinking, oh, that sounds like those A through G requirements that you're asking me to take to apply as a freshman applicant. That's right, very similar. The difference with us, though, is an art class might have an opportunity for you to take, art, studio, photography, or there could be art history courses. So there's a great option for students to really find themselves taking courses in multiple subjects, dozens of departments, and finding themselves working towards their degree. For those of you who are undeclared or undecided, you will be applying to the College of Letters and Science and spending your first year taking general education curriculum. Okay, 1/3 of your coursework is general education. 1/3 of your coursework is your major. For my science students, it's a little bit more than 1/3 of your curriculum. But here's the fun part. For Santa Barbara, our freshman applicants should be very excited that we do not select by major. We do not select by major. One more time. Unas vez más. We do not select by major. That's right. If you're putting down actuarial science, economics, or history, or undeclared, it's the same thing to us, because you're going to change your mind 3 times before you graduate. That's just the reality. So I'm not worried. I'm not worried. My friends are not worried in the admissions office. Choose whatever major you're happy with. If it's I don't know, then mark undeclared. But, oh, there's always fine print, right? But when it comes to admission, for my scientists in the universe, if you're a physics student, if you're biology, if you're chemistry, I need to tell you something. In the admissions process, I don't care what your major is. But if you're admitted to UC Santa Barbara, you enroll on my campus, and then you're getting ready to register for classes, guess what? Science students have priority in science coursework. There's always fine print, guys. So I want you guys to realize, if you have a remote desire, a little itty-bitty tiny desire to be in a science major, you should apply to UCSB in one of our science programs. Now keep in mind, there are 10 biology majors in the College of Letters and Science, from aquatic biology, which many of you think of as marine science, to pharmacology, physiology, zoology, evolution ecology, microbiology, so on and so forth. If you don't know the difference between them yet, or you don't know your major yet, just pick any one of those at random, because they all start with the same freshman year curriculum. Now, last part of the circle. So we've got general education, major, the last part of the circle is electives. When it comes to electives, you're going to find that this is a great option for students who have multiple passions. This is where you can double major. That's right, double major. For those of you who are overachievers, this is where you can triple major. That's right, you can have 3 University of California, Santa Barbara degrees. You won't have a social life, but you'll have 3 college degrees. For UCSB, in our electives, you're going to find that students can also add some minors, and there are amazing minors on our campus. Maybe it's that you want to minor in a language, Espanol, Francés, Italiano, whatever you're thinking of. You're also going to find that there are things like science as minors. There are also specialty minors in education, a minor for high school teaching and math. Great options, amazing opportunities. That's what the elective category is for. If you're not ready for the College of Letters and Science, but you are ready to prepare for medical school or law school, the College of Letters and Science offers amazing programs to prepare students for those graduate degrees. We have a really large pre-law program. Our pre-law program is open to every student on campus. So I could be a mechanical engineer, but I know I want to go to law school and become that patent lawyer. All of a sudden, I'm enrolled in the pre-law program. When it comes to our pre-health, that's the umbrella term for all of our medical fields. For my, future med school, for my pharmacy, for my dentistry, so on and so forth. Our pre-health program is where we house pre-med, and this is one of those recommendations. Again, if you're thinking pre-med, you're going to want to apply to a science major. If you're on campus and you fall in love with dance, you can always change your major to dance and still be in our pre-med program. Okay, so I already have 3 more questions that popped in. Let me jump over to that screen and see. So question number 1 is, what is the highest amount of units or classes a student can take per quarter? Haha, my overachievers, how I love you. So students can take up to 21 units because we're on the quarter system at UCSB. We can take 21 units. When it comes to that particular number, the College of Creative Studies can petition for larger numbers. Most students take anywhere between 12 and 17 units. The 16, 17 unit mark tends to be for my science majors because of their labs. And then if you rotate between those 12 and 17, you're on that track to graduate in 4 years. Whew, good question. Let's see, question number 2 is asking, I'd like to be a doctor. I think that's the word doctor on there. I'd like to be a doctor. How competitive are you versus some of the other University of California campuses? One fun fact that I love to throw out there is that because all the UC campuses teach theory and research, we're all actually the most competitive when it comes to graduate school, medical school admissions. You're going to find that while we do not have a medical school here at UCSB, we do have some amazing pre-med support programs for students who are thinking of that route. So we have a great honors program by invitation. That honors program will have you doing research as well as internships within the local community. Big resume builders, my friends, and also great letters of recommendation as you prepare and compete with other students applying to medical school. Okay, let's move on. So letters and science, that's one option. Option number 2 is the College of Engineering. For those of you who are like, I might want to be an engineer. Let me think about it. The College of Engineering at UC Santa Barbara has 5 programs. Remember I noted chemical, mechanical, computer engineering, electrical engineering, and then computer science within the College of Engineering. For Santa Barbara's campus, we will ask students who are thinking of an engineering major to apply to one of those 5. Now, if you're applying to one of those 5 programs, we will pull your application, and when we do, we're going to focus on math. And then we're going to look for math. And then we're going to screen for math. So what's the key word? Math. That's it. For UC Santa Barbara at the freshman level, we're going to be looking at your math coursework. I'd love to see calculus by your senior year. I'll settle for a pre-calculus. I'd love to see nice, pretty math grades. And then I'm going to pay attention to the testing, either the SAT reasoning or ACT with writing. Not necessarily the total score to start out with. I'm going to focus on the math component on either one of those 2 exams. So your big key focus is math at UCSB if you're a future engineer. My transfer students should know that each one of my 5 engineering programs has a long list of prerequisite courses that I'm asking you to complete before you apply to transfer to UCSB. It's a little more complicated, and I don't want to get into that much detail during a webinar, so please note that on our admissions homepage, admissions.ucsb.edu, you'll be able to see transfer and then all of our requirements for our students. Okay, questions are coming up. Let's see. Next question is, can you clarify what the honors program is and how you participate? I would love to. So for UC Santa Barbara, the honors program for the College of Letters and Science is something that we'll look at and we'll evaluate in the admissions process. And so if you're admitted to UCSB, you could be admitted automatically into the College of Letters and Science honors program. Same concept with the College of Engineering. You could be admitted to the College of Engineering and then also invited into the honors program. Now for Santa Barbara, if you are not given that passage into the honors program at the point of admission, you will have to wait until the end of freshman year, and based off of your freshman year curriculum, we will give you the opportunity to apply to the honors program pending space and your UCSB GPA. My transfer students, it's a one and done. You're either invited into the program once you're admitted, or you're going to find yourself looking at distinction in the major, sort of an honors program within your department, not overall on campus. Ooh, some great questions, guys. I'm so excited. Now, the one thing about the College of Engineering I do want to point out, it's very balanced. This is what's unique to us. About 40% of your coursework overall is going to be applied learning. That means roll up your sleeves, my friend, get into the labs, and really understand the hands-on aspect of engineering. It's group work, so if I'm a mechanical engineer and you're an electrical engineer and he's a chemical engineer, we might work in a team project. And that's important because that means you've got real-world application. You are ready to be hired. On the other end, 60% of our coursework is theoretical, which is very University of California. How does it work? Why does it work? Problem solving, critical thinking. You are ready for that leadership in engineering. So one of the things that's unique to us is that 60-40 split. Okay, guys, let's keep moving on so that I answer all of your questions. So the next question on the list is, if I were to become a nurse practitioner, would you say biology would be the right set for me? Ooh, that's a good question. If you were thinking of being a nurse practitioner, that's the pre-med field, I would say start in biology and then work with my pre-med and pre-health advisor to go through and see what options would be best for you. I'll give you some links at the end of the session to help you find where you can get those advisor presentations and all of that type of information, that frequently asked questions and Q&A. Promise. All right, guys, the last college on my list for undergraduate students is the College of Creative Studies. Now, this is amazing. It's very unique to UCSB. The College of Creative Studies has 7 programs. Those 7 programs include art, biology, chemistry, computer science, mathematics, music composition, and physics. For Santa Barbara, these are the same majors that you've heard in the other 2 colleges. So why choose this over those? Well, the College of Creative Studies was essentially a founding of faculty looking at undergraduate students and working with undergraduate students who already knew what they wanted to do in life. They were very focused. They had a narrow field of interest, and they were students who were essentially already done with a lot of the basic work and ready to jump into research or jump into creating new knowledge. Get it? Creative studies, creating new knowledge. For Santa Barbara, there is a supplemental application, supplemental application that is due a month after your UC application. So you submit to UC that you're applying to the physics department in the College of Creative Studies, and then in December, you're going to also submit the College of Creative Studies application directly to UCSB. That supplemental application is not read by the admissions office. Oh no, I don't know anything about physics. It's actually sent to faculty in the department you're applying to. Woo, like goosebumps, right? You're excited. Those faculty members work in a committee to read the supplemental applications. And if a faculty member goes, wow, Haley is amazing, I want her to be in my lab, I want to mentor her. Well, then guess what happens? If you're admitted to UCSB in the College of Creative Studies, you're actually assigned a faculty mentor. Yes, you are assigned a faculty mentor from day one, be it your first day as a freshman or your first day as a transfer. That particular mentor will work with you to help you voice or find your voice within your major. So maybe when it comes to chemistry, you just want to work on the chemical components of X, Y, and Z. You don't care about anything else. You could find yourselves in seminars with faculty members, in guest lectures, in labs with your advisor. That's the big thing, though. These students will be expected to create new knowledge. So that means their own research or research with faculty by the end of senior year. Whew, exciting, I know. All right, guys, somebody asked a question, so let me go back and say, question is, College of Engineering, my older brother applied to the College of Engineering, did not get in, was instead admitted as undeclared. What happens then? Can you transfer over? That's a great question. Thank you for bringing that up. So for UCSB's College of Engineering, if you are not admitted at the point of admission that you apply, there's really it's not really an option to change your major after your first year. You are able to say engineering is my first choice, but you know what, I'd be okay with physics or chemistry, or I might be okay with history or something else. And if that's the case, you must tell me an alternate major on the UC application. If you do not give me an alternate major and I do not admit you to engineering, you are not admitted to UC Santa Barbara's campus. All right, thanks for asking that question, guys. Let's see, if you are applying with a liberal art major, such as communication, when looking at an applicant, what classes, subjects would you look at the most? I don't. If you're not an engineer, I'm looking at everything as a whole. If you're an engineer, then I'm focusing on the math, the mathematicas, the math. Okay, guys, let's keep going. So those are our three colleges. Which one do you fit into? That's what you're going to apply to UC. Now, let's talk about living on campus. For those of you who are like, I am ready to move away from home, please let me leave. My parents are just too much. Well, then we want to welcome you to our family. For UC Santa Barbara, we have a 2-year housing guarantee for our transfer students and a 4-year housing guarantee for our incoming freshman students. So students who are coming in as freshmen have the opportunity to live the first 2 years in the residence halls and the last 2 years in UC apartments. For my transfer students, you get to decide between them. You can say my first choice is an apartment or my first choice is living in a residence hall. For Santa Barbara, we have almost 80% of our students who live within walking, biking, or skateboarding distance to campus. So we by default happen to be a very big residential community. Now for our students who are living in the residence halls, they're going to get a whole bunch of programming, support. They're going to make a lot of friends. For our students who choose to live off campus, and yes, I used air quotes, forgive me, but for our students who move off campus, they will often move into a neighboring community known as Isla Vista. Now you're looking at a campus map. This happens to be, everything in the brown happens to be buildings on campus. In the center, there's this 1/2 mile by 3/4 of a mile densely populated area called Isla Vista. It is not campus. We do not own it, we do not govern it, but we do have many of our students who choose to live there. That's what allows us to have so many students who are living close to campus. Isla Vista also happens to have a large number of Santa Barbara City College students. They have an elementary school, a retirement community, there's markets, there's a park, there's a lot that's in Isla Vista. For Santa Barbara, this is how we're really a residential campus. So many students are living so close to us that they often don't go home on the weekends. It's really typical to see a club meeting on Saturday afternoon or Friday night because, well, you can. Everyone's still here. They're not going home. For our students who are coming in either re-entry or continuing, note that we also have family student housing, and you can apply for family student housing as soon as you submit your UCSB application. So that's in November, well before you know whether or not you're going to be admitted to UCSB. Now, because we have such a large number of our students who live on campus or close to campus, we actually have one of the highest active participation for student clubs and organizations in the country. I know, this is so exciting. About 85% of our students are engaged in some type of UCSB activity. It could be community service, and yes, our students love giving back. I am so proud of our students who will go to the retirement community in Isla Vista and read in the Adopt a Grandparent, who will go into the elementary school in Isla Vista and tutor a third grader in math. They'll go into the food kitchen and they'll help out. They'll do so much. They also find themselves getting involved in clubs. Let's be honest, you're doing that now, either at your community college or in your high school. And so we want you to continue that at UCSB. There are over 500 student clubs and organizations registered with Santa Barbara's campus, including about 40 Greek organizations, so those fraternities or sororities. They could be things that are very structured. You know, I'm in the accounting association because I will be an accountant. Or they could be really fun. I'm part of the barbecue club. Hola, hello, I love it. Once a month we get together and we barbecue. I know food is good, yummy, So find yourself engaged in all of these great activities. You're building a social network, which makes you a better student. We've done research that shows that. And if you're looking for a particular student club or organization, you'll want to look at UCSB Office of Student Life, osl.sa.ucsb.edu. Okay, you're an athlete. You are about getting active. Maybe you're an athlete who's thinking, I'm Division I NCAA. Well, guess what? UC Santa Barbara is a Division I NCAA campus, and hopefully we're the right campus for you. We have 20 NCAA sports on campus, 19 of which are part of the Big West Conference. Our swimming and diving is part of the Pac-12. For Santa Barbara, our coaches are recruiting for their sports year-round. They're going to be recruiting, and then you're still going to have to apply for admission. These two paths will happen parallel, but they won't talk to each other. You still have to apply to UC. You still have to fill out that application. You still have to take all the tests and all the requirements. If you're admitted to Santa Barbara, yay! If you're also recruited by a coach, yay! Finding yourself a student athlete, look at the word student and then athlete, is really important to us. We actually love that we're one of the highest GPAs for student athletes in the nation. Okay, you're not nationally ranked. You are not ready for that Division I, but you still love to play a sport. Well, guess what? I got you covered. That's right. For UCSB, we have club sports, we have intramural sports, and an amazing adventures program. Adventures programs could be sailing, it could be scuba diving. Our intramural sports are not traveling, so they can find themselves really engaged in activities, but not leaving Santa Barbara. So intramural sports, my favorite is inner tube water polo. Have you ever watched inner tube water polo? You really sit in a big black inner tube and you try to compete against another team in the same getup. It's awesome. We love it. Our climate really leads us to be athletically inclined, but let's be honest, some of us should never play a sport in public. Oh no, it is not pretty, and that's okay. For those of you who are not ready to play a sport, I still like you. Now, another great resume builder, and something that we love to scream about, is many of our students, one of the largest things that they consider when they go to UCSB is, hey, I want to do education abroad. I want to see the world. And for Santa Barbara, we house the Education Abroad program for all 10 UC campuses. The Education Abroad program has active participation in 40 countries. So spin the globe, find yourself putting a finger down, and if it's not in a body of water, there's probably a UC program for you. You can spend a summer, you can do a semester, or a full year in another program. Now for my transfer students out there, hello, hello. Transfer students are highly encouraged to consider the Education Abroad program. You're going to have to fill out your application as soon as you start UCSB, so this is something we encourage you to look at as you're applying to us. Now find that there are English programs within non-English speaking countries, so for those of you who are like, I want to live in France, but I do not know Français, I still like you and I want you to do education abroad, so you'll find yourself maybe applying to the English program in Paris as opposed to the French program in Paris. Great options, great opportunities, and great resume builder as well. For students who decide to do education abroad and who are worried about money, one of the cool things, UC Santa Barbara sees our education abroad students receiving financial aid. And financial aid for us is just a big conversation topic. So let's talk about it. Santa Barbara's students, about 74%, so 3/4 of our students, are receiving some type of financial aid to pay for the cost of attendance. Now, for our cost of attendance, because it might vary between in-state, out-of-state, are you living on campus or off campus, note that the website on the screen, www.finaid.ucsb.edu. That website will show you your cost budget. You'll also be able to see that financial aid really comes in 4 areas: grants, money you don't have to pay back; loans, or scholarships. Those are all things that students are aware of, but there's also work study, where you can work and be a student. For Santa Barbara, financial aid could be a combination of those 4. And one of the things that I completely love is how amazing our financial aid staff happens to be at UCSB. So if you have a question, you can email finaid@sa.ucsb.edu, and within 24 to 48 hours, you're going to find yourself with an answer to your question. Oh, aren't they nice? One quick point about financial aid that I do want to point out, which is our students who are AB 540 eligible in California, please note that there is financial aid opportunities for you. For those of you who are going, what's AB 540? Well, it's not you, so don't worry about it. All right, last but not least, when it comes to financial aid, for merit scholarships, any freshman applicant should note that we'll automatically consider you for merit aid. You don't have to ask for it. We're going to look at your application, consider your grades, and if you've done the hard work, we'll reward you. Students will find that their financial aid award letter will come electronically. If they are admitted to our campus, that electronic notification comes about a week after you've been admitted. More questions, let's go back to this. So next question is, are the study abroad programs very expensive, and how do you get into one? Study abroad programs vary in cost. You can find yourself in a program like London, which happens to be expensive because the exchange rate between the dollar and the pound. Or you can find yourself in a program like Vietnam, which actually is not that expensive because of the exchange rate between the dollar. So please note that there are price ranges all over the place, but again, financial aid can cover you if you're attending a UC program. And all of your college credits, all of the classes you've taken while you're abroad, will come back. And those credits can help you graduate on time, if not early. About 5% of our students graduate in 3 years. And those students often have done an education abroad program. Okay. Whew, let us talk about admissions. I love it. I know you're excited. You're like, sign me up. I am ready to go to UC Santa Barbara. I want to be a gaucho. So the question is, how do you get admitted? And the answer is, there's no one path. Sorry, I know that's not the answer you were looking for. But I do want to put admissions in context. So the first context, we do have more applicants than we can accommodate. So you're going to find that every year we get anywhere between 60 to 70,000 applicants. Last year we had 67,000 freshman applicants, and we had about 14,000 transfer applicants. So we were well above our average. We were at 81,000 total applications. Trust me, in the admissions office, that's a scary number because we read every single freshman applicant at least twice, and every transfer applicant gets an individual academic review. It takes time. Whew. Let's see, questions. Oh, that's a financial aid question. I'll come back to that one. Sorry, guys. And then next question, the admit rates are for this year. Yes, so the 36% admit rate happens to be the freshman admit rate for the class of 2014, and the almost 50% admit rate for transfer students is also for the class of 2014. Now, the admission cycle, let's start with the basics, shall we? Let's start with freshmen. If you're going to apply to the University of California, I'm going to ask you to fill out the University of California application. That application is the only thing I read. That's it, nada más. I do not ask for a transcript. I do not want a transcript. Do not send me transcripts, or any other UC campus, by the way. That University of California application, well, you self-report all of your academic courses into the application so it feels like a transcript for me. I ask you freshman year, sophomore year, junior year, all the academic classes you've taken. These are often known as our A through G requirements. After these academic courses have been completed, I look at the grades from sophomore and junior year. Now, you report those grades, but you also report the curriculum you're enrolled in your senior year. So what classes are you taking your first semester? What are you planning to take second semester? And for UC admission, I am asking for a minimum 3.0 from a California high school student, again, from sophomore and junior year, and a minimum 3.4 GPA from a student outside of California. Now, it's a weighted GPA, which means I'm going to give you extra credit for advanced placement, international baccalaureate, or transferable college coursework that you may have completed in that sophomore and junior year. California high school students can also add UC-approved honors curriculum into the weighted GPA calculation. Now, that's a lot of information. What the heck does that all mean? Well, what it means is I'm going to look at your grades and I'm going to calculate your GPA on a 4.0 scale. A plus, A minus, it's 4 points. B plus, B minus, it's 3 points, so on and so forth. Now, you don't have to do any of that math. You're just going to tell me I got a B in U.S. history, I have an A in Algebra 2, I do the translation for you. For those of you going, oh, well, I'm on a 0 to 100 scale, great, you got an 89 on U.S. history, you got a 92 on your Algebra 2. That's how you report, and then we'll do the math for you. When it comes to a weighted GPA, please realize that we do look at sophomore and junior year. We'll look at those informations, it'll take all the information into account, and we give you up to 8-letter grades that we'll give extra credit for, with no more than 4 grades coming from sophomore year. Okay. Let's see, I've got more questions coming in, so let me make sure I'm answering them. Are the average GPAs displayed the weighted GPAs from high school or calculated UC GPAs? So the GPAs you saw on the screen happen to be the calculated GPA from sophomore and junior year. It is weighted. For Santa Barbara, we only use the weighted GPA, so we always give you the extra credit. Now, for those of you going, ooh, that was still high, ay, 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 what to do? Well, 93% of the students we admitted had a GPA between a 3.5 and a 4.1. So let me tell you why that's important. GPA is one factor. The other academic factor we have is dun, 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 testing. Oh, how much do you love waking up on a Saturday morning and taking a test? Oh, I love it, right? No? Oh, okay. Well, for those of you who are like, I know I've got to take this, yes, you do. You have until December of your senior year to take one exam. One exam. Yes, just one. You can choose between the SAT reasoning or the ACT with writing. Now, do I have a preference? No. No. I don't care which one you take. You do have until December, though. That's the big deadline. Anything after December, I can't guarantee I'm going to get your score results in time. So, December. Now, December is the month after you submit your University of California application. So, here is a rule. The University of California wants you to send official test scores from the testing agency. So if you're taking the SAT, I want College Board to send me your scores. Now we ask you to send all scores, and here's a hint. Ha ha ha, I'm so nice, right? A hint. Send official test scores to one University of California campus that you're applying to, like Santa Barbara, and then we'll share them with all the UC campuses that you've applied to without charging you money. You're welcome. Now, for my international students, if you are at a high school where the language of instruction is not English, you're going to find that I will ask for a test of English language proficiency. Again, one exam, you can choose the TOEFL or the IELTS. There are minimum scores for the test of English language proficiency. The TOEFL requires at least an 80, the IELTS at least a 7. These also have to be sent officially from the testing agency. If you send your TOEFL results to one UC campus, we will share them with all the UC campuses you've applied to. If you share your IELTS, you will have to share your IELTS with every single UC campus individually. Okay, testing, that's it. That is all that is mandatory. Now, the last thing I want to point out for testing, we use the highest single day total score. Oh, we do not super score, my friends. No, 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 no. So that December test, that October test, that June test, the single day total score, that is what I am looking for. Sorry, guys, if you think, oh, but that's not fair. Life is not fair, so let's move on. Now, here's what happens. You have worked really hard on your SATs. You've worked really hard on your GPA. You've done all of that. So we know that you have been working hard outside of the classroom as well. So for the University of California, we look at what's called a holistic or a comprehensive review. We want to take into account what you're doing outside of the classroom. And for many of you, that could be clubs, it could be sports, it could be non-organized. You play guitar, you're in your church group. And so in order for you to share that with us, there are questions in the application that talk about extracurricular activities, honors, and awards. But we give you a very, very finite space to explain each one of those. In fact, we give you 160 characters to explain yourself on these. And that's not a lot of space. So what we've done is we've also given you 2 mandatory prompts. These are known as the University of California personal statement. Oh, this is so much fun. I love personal statements. Most students are like, I don't like it. It's an essay. No, 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 no. But think about it. It's actually your interview with us. You get to talk to me in the admissions office with a personal statement. 2 questions. You must answer both questions. You also have a third question on the application, which is optional, called additional comments. I'm going to tell you this. Freshmen, this is a huge part of what we look at when we read your application. If you have yet to write your personal statement, we have a great tip sheet that includes what not to do when you're writing your personal statement, because it will annoy me. So what not to do is on our tip sheet, downloadable off of our website or available in our UCSB booth under College Week Live. Okay, so you've entered all your extracurricular activities. You've talked to me in the personal statement. I have your classes, your grades, your test scores. I'm going to add it all together. But at UC Santa Barbara, we specifically divide how we read your application. 50% of what we're looking at is called your academic review. And that's where we're going to calculate your GPA for you. That's where we're going to look at how many of those A through G classes did you take. So for those of you who are thinking, well, I really don't want to take a 4th year of math. Do you? Do you want to stop taking math? Or do you want to make me happy and take more than the minimum in areas of your strength? So a 4th year of math, a 3rd year of science, those are going above the minimum. Taking an advanced placement class or an honors course, maybe doing dual enrollment and taking a college course. All of that goes into our academic review. 50%, 50% is academic at UCSB, which means 50%, 50% is non-academic. And in that, it's community service, extracurricular, club, sports, honors. You're the first in your family to go to college. You speak 3 languages. You've traveled the world. You started a foundation. All of that stuff that you shared with me in your personal statement. Yes, for Santa Barbara, what you do outside of the classroom is equal in nature with what you do in the classroom. This is very unique to us. And that's why I can't tell you that your GPA is going to be the reason you get admitted, because it's not. It's a combination of all of these things together. I know that we admitted students with the 4.0 GPA. I can also tell you we denied students with the 4.0 GPA. We admitted students that had 1900 on their SATs. We denied students with 1900 on their SATs. Think of it as a puzzle piece. You have to add all of these puzzle pieces together to paint a great picture, and only what's in the application will be evaluated with UC Santa Barbara. Ooh, okay, lots of questions came in, so let me go back to those questions. So, if you plan to take an SAT in December, but apply in November, do we still have to fill out the SAT section in the UC application? Yes. In the UC application, you're going to say future test score, then mark December 2014, and then mark the box that says, I don't have my test results yet. In December, when you sit for the test, send official test scores to one campus, and then we'll get them officially. That's an easy question. Next question states, I love this. My neighbor, that's always my favorite question whenever you start that way. My neighbor has helped me with my application. She's an English teacher. Ooh, that's trouble. My neighbor has helped me with my UC application. She's an English teacher. You're saying that I should add all of my extracurriculars in my personal statement. She said that I should be working on being unique and entertaining the admissions reader. Oh, no, 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 no. I'm going to defer. We have a whole webinar that's available next Wednesday or next Thursday on the personal statement. But let me just say this. It's not an essay. It's not an essay. It's not an essay. It is literally your interview with us. You do not need to entertain me. You do not need to worry about the structure of your response. So I don't need a conclusion. I'm not going to grade you on grammar, but you still should spell check and grammar check. It really is about how much information am I learning about you so that I can fill in this circle with details. Okay, guys, so that's freshman admissions. Lots of ambiguity, lots of ambiguity. I can't tell you if you're admitted or not based off of your GPA or test scores. I'm sorry, but that's how it works. On the flip side, my transfer students, I did not forget about you. For transfer, well, transfer is all about A plus B equals C. There's no ambiguity whatsoever. So transfer is a numbers game. The first number, 60. That's because I asked my transfer students to complete 60 semester transferable units by the spring in which prior to enrollment. So 60 is the first number so that they can come in under junior level standing. The second number is 7 because I'm asking for 7 courses to be completed, and those 7 courses should include 2 English composition courses. That's right, English composition is huge for our admission selection, but I want 2 of those courses to be completed. For admissions purposes, I will say this, those courses should really be finished by the fall in which you apply to us for selection. Okay, so 7 courses, 2 English, 1 math above intermediate algebra for my general pool. My students who are thinking of economics or engineering, there's more than that, but this is basic eligibility. And then 4 courses that are from 2 of the following areas: arts and humanities, behavioral and social science, biological and physical sciences. So this is your general platform. Now, for those of you from a California community college, where we admitted about 94% of California community college students, because you're our first priority as a transfer student. You have a very gorgeous brochure that's online called the assist.org. It will tell you, hey, you want to go to UCSB psychology? Here are all the classes you have to take. And we even have what's known as a transfer admissions guarantee from California community colleges. Now, I use the word minimum eligibility, and I've used the word selection already. Well, selection is where we know we have 14,000 applicants, but we don't have 14,000 spaces. So what we're going to do is we're going to select a number of those students. And again, this year it was almost 50% of those students who were admitted. And we select based off of a different criteria. And that is, again, junior level standing, those students who have completed that math and English curriculum, the students who are preparing in, for example, science, who are preparing for their curriculum. There's biology students who are taking biology, chemistry, calculus. So for general purposes, here are my suggestions to students. If you have not done so and you're a transfer applicant, go to the UC Transfer Academic Planner, UC TAP. It is a great tool to start entering all of your curriculum. It's also a great way to get in touch with us and ask us questions. 2, if you are not a scientist, if you are not an engineer, IGETC, which is the Intersegmental General Education Transfer Curriculum, is a great way to work on courses and your units at the same time. For students who finish IGETC certification at a community college, you're actually certifying all of your general education curriculum. So think back to those pie charts that I was showing you earlier. 1/3 of your coursework in the College of Letters and Science is general education. IGETC certification means you've done it. You're good to go. I'm not going to make you take any more of those classes to finish your degree. My science majors, oh, my science majors, honey, no, no, no. Do not worry about IGETC, my friends. Science majors should be working on major prep. There are 3 departments in which we will be selecting by major, so pay attention. The first department is biology. For all of my biology majors, aquatic biology, pharmacology, zoology, biological science. The transfer path is such where I want you to finish in about 2 years. So in order for you to do that, you need to have a whole bunch of science and math done. The same thing that my freshman and my sophomore students had to do. And so I'm going to ask for my transfer biology students to have a set curriculum completed with a minimum 2.70 GPA. And that includes a full year of general chemistry with the lab and passing grades. I'm going to ask for you to take also your full year of, chemistry. Ooh, I lost my space there. Your full year of chemistry, I'm also asking for that calculus. So really important that you look at those classes, and within those specifically, that 2.70 GPA. For my econ and my econ and accounting students, you're also looking at your major and hopefully working on major prep. For my students who are thinking of economics or economics and accounting, I want to see the macro and the microeconomics done, and I want to see that year of calculus done as well. And within those classes, I need a 2.75 GPA. You could have done everything else, a 4.0 GPA, but if you didn't take the math and the calculus right here for economics, you won't be admitted to UCSB. So be aware of that. This, by the way, is also detailed on our assist.org website. Told you it was important. Last but not least, engineering. I've already said this. It's very structured for the 5 programs, so I want you guys to know that 1, we will select at a higher GPA, a 3.6 for the courses that we're recommending depending on the 5 programs that you're looking at. 2, not every community college offers every course, so be very strategic in where you enroll. And 3, you have to finish all of our required courses because we want you to come in and finish in 2 years and not start as a freshman. All right, that's transfer, that's selection. I use the word guarantee. Did you hear it? Oh, I hope you did. Santa Barbara has a transfer admissions guarantee with every California community college. So that could be that you're at Mount SAC, it could be that you're at Diablo Valley, it could be that you're out Southwest. It could be that you're at Santa Monica College. We have a transfer admissions guarantee with all of the community colleges in California. That guarantee is available and in detail on our website, uctag.universityofcalifornia.edu. You're also going to find that the University of California Santa Barbara tag is only open to majors that do not require an audition in the College of Letters and Science. Engineering and creative studies, there is no guarantee for you guys. You'll have to go through that screening process. So the tag is simple. We want you to finish the last 30 units at a community college in California. We want you to do those 7 core classes. We want you to have that math and English done by fall, and your overall GPA should be a 3.2. That sounds pretty manageable, right? A 3.2 GPA, I'm guaranteed admission into the psychology program, into your physics program, into your history program. Why, yes. Yes, you are. So find that this is a great opportunity for students, 1, who are not ready to move away from home. They want to stay close to home and start their university degree. 2, who financially aren't ready. Or 3, who maybe didn't get admitted as a freshman and really want to come to UC Santa Barbara. We love our transfer admissions program. Okay, guys, let's see. Let's find out what's left. The timeline. But before I go to the timeline, let me go back and answer some questions. So, are the average GPAs, I already answered that question, so let me say mark as answered. Number 2, I plan to go to the UC TAP, this tool this fall with economics and accounting at UCSB. How long will it take for me to get into the full major? Ooh, good questions. So I'm going to be a transfer student in economics and accounting. Those 4 classes, macroeconomics, microeconomics, and the full year of calculus with a 2.75 GPA mean that you're a pre-major at UCSB. You've met our screening. You're ready to come in and graduate on time. Once you're on my campus, you're going to take the final courses for the pre-major. Most students will find themselves, within their first year here, finishing those classes and successfully finishing the degree in 2 years. If they don't pass the classes the first time around, they may take an additional year. But overall, you're going to find yourself available for those classes, transfer students, in economics in your first 2 quarters, first 3 quarters. Okay, so there's that question. Next question says, I've heard about the Blue and Gold program that covers all tuition if you qualify. Is that true? For students who are looking at financial aid and specifically the Blue and Gold program, what you should find is that yes, it does exist. We also have a middle income scholarship. So Blue and Gold means you make under 80,000. Our middle income is that you're between 80,000 and 150,000. And when it comes to financial aid, there's a lot of detail associated with it. So let me just say, yes, we have those programs. Yes, they're available. They are triggered off of the FAFSA application. Free application for federal student aid. Say it with me now, FAFSA, FAFSA. You can find on the screen the very clear definition of when the FAFSA is due. So let's talk about the timeline, shall we? The application for the class of 2015 opened August 1st. That's right. You can go create an application today if you have yet to do so. You log in, you log out, you log in, you log out. You do this because there are 9 sections. 9 sections. 9 sections. You want to fill out each section as thoroughly as possible because remember, we do not look at transcripts. We do not read letters of recommendation. Did I mention that? No to the letters of recommendation. No actual interviews. I'm not going to call you going, hey, Rachel, will you tell me more about your interest in the blah, blah, blah club? Because that sounds fascinating. No, I don't have time for that. 67,000 freshman applicants, you guys. There's no way for me to do that. So instead, I look at your application. And so be as detailed as possible. I will then look at your application to be submitted between November 1st, but no later than November 30th. November 1st through November 30th. We don't have early action. We don't have early decision. I could care less what day in November you push submit. Just make sure that no later than 11:59 p.m. Pacific time on November 30th, you've pushed that submit button. Okay, you push submit, and then you wait. You might, as a freshman applicant, go back and take that SAT in December, send me official test scores, and then you wait. If you're a transfer student in January, you're going to update your fall grades and enter your spring schedule. For transfer students, I will not start evaluating your application until you've done this. And it's a first come, first serve. So you filled out your fall grades and your spring schedule. You're now in my queue to be evaluated. So again, timeliness. And then you wait. January is coming about. You're like, hey, let me start a FAFSA. Let me go through and work on my taxes. Let me ask my parents to do their taxes. You file your FAFSA no later than March 2nd. March 2nd. Remember, March 2nd is before you've even been told you're admitted. So you want to file a FAFSA with every UC campus you've applied to. Mid-March, about the 3rd week of March, we'll release all of our freshman decisions and then a good percentage of our transfer students. And then transfer students, every day I'll continue to read applications in that queue as you've turned in your application with updates. So realize that transfer students, you're notified in a rolling basis. I apologize, it's just the way that it works. If you're admitted, yay! Woohoo! Congratulations! Woohoo! Yay! Party, right? If you're admitted, you have until May 1st to say, yes, I'm coming. I'm a freshman. Save my space. Transfer students have until June 1st to say, yes, I'm coming. Save my space. That is your timeline. It is really, really strict, so please follow it. We don't take exceptions. We won't give you extensions on any of these deadlines. For those of you who've already heard me say this, we have webinars. We have online events where we can walk you through the application, walk you through the personal statement. For my transfer students, we can do 20-minute live video chats where we can walk through what you need to do at your community college, walk through any questions you might have. All of this can be found on our website under Virtual UCSB. Don't miss out. Also know that on October 1st, all UC campuses will hold a UC Day on College Week Live. We'll be online chatting. We hope to see you again at that point. Whew, that was a lot of information. I still have 2 more questions to go, but I do want to make this point very clear. For UC Santa Barbara, we are excited that you're thinking we might be the right place for you. We know that college decisions, well, who you're going to apply to, it's not cheap. $70 to apply to a UC campus if you're a U.S. resident or citizen, $80 if you're an international student, that can add up. But we want you guys to know that we consider ourselves a family. We consider ourselves a Gaucho family. And as such, you can see a lot of information about our Gaucho family through our website. The YouTube page has great 5-minute or less tutorials on how to calculate the GPA. What is the A through G? You know, AB 540, what is that? Lots of those options. And at any point in time, if you have questions, you can always email us or send us a tweet, send us a question through our Facebook account. They're all there for you. I'm going to answer those last questions before my time runs out. So, last question is, it is competitive for admission at the freshman level. You've stated 4.0 GPA, could or could not get admitted. For transfer students, where is that competition ending? Okay. So I said transfer students, it's very cut and dry. You meet my requirements, you're admitted. Now, I do want to make this point for my transfer students. We don't read your personal statement. We don't look at your extracurricular activities. I never said that, remember? I talked about prep for the major, math, English, and your GPA. That is what I'm looking for a transfer student. So be very clear, be very concise, get your work done. Ladies and gentlemen, I apologize. We are out of time and there's still 5 more questions in my queue. So I'm going to make you go to my chat room. Go to my chat room where my colleagues are answering questions live up until 8 o'clock tonight. I want to thank you all for joining me for this UC Santa Barbara presentation. I encourage you to stay in touch, and I also want to wish you a wonderful experience in the application process. I want to remind you not to sweat the small stuff. Breathe through the process and realize that we're here to help. So if you do have questions as you're filling out your application, just call. Again, I'm Cuca Acosta, Associate Director for School Services here in the Office of Admissions, but my colleagues as they travel around are also available to answer your questions. I wish you all the best of luck. Thanks, guys, and have a great evening.